Hi, this is your daily price action outlook for January the 2nd, 2013. And as you notice here, the zones on the chart are pretty much the same as they were when I drew those last Thursday. Okay? Really late Wednesday, early Thursday in Asia. So, to be honest with you, I think we have similar plays to get through the day here. And what I'm looking at here on the dollar index to start with is basically 79.80 is our level of resistance, and I think we're going to go up and test this 61.8 at 80, and at that point I'm going to look for a short based on a lower high of this scenario here. So easily a jam job with time of day. Okay. So let's go over to the majors and take a look at the actual entry, since trading the dollar index can be a little boring. Over here on the euro, as you see, we've had this top action on the price. It really looks like it wants to roll over and hit that daily 21 at 3100. 3150 pretty much did get hit there for the new year. And I think we could go down further. I think we could go down a little bit further on that. At this point, let's go ahead and take a look at the 4-hour chart. And we see, a little bit of a pattern here. People were short in this red zone. And, now we're kind of dried up volatility-wise. So, would like to see something like that. Taking a long right here is not ideal. Let's take a look at the hour chart. You've got to do something basically, jam job, and pretty much that's it. Move it right to break even, and just hope it breaks this level. There's nothing more to do on that euro for now. Take a look at the pound, and the pound, as usual, has overshot. We've hit a critical fib and broke it. So the 78.6 fib is gone. This thing has to be now turned into a what? A green zone. Okay. So let's do that. So we need to long around here if we get an opportunity. 62.11 looks good. And the closer we get up to this level, and a price action reversal happens, easy short trade. The issue with that is you're going to lose all your pips likely if that higher lows. It will more than likely double top. So you're going to want to set some alarms, and or just set a take profit and get out. Set the alarm for the entry, or if you want to set a entry order, you can go ahead and do that as well. Price action wise on the charts, we're down the 4-hour because we're not looking at that stuff right now. I don't see any obvious signs. I see clues across the charts, and what I just described here on the pound. So it's sort of a rinse and repeat. There's a little more to it, but definitely this right here on this higher low. Let's go back to the 4-hour. Actually, let's look at the hourly chart. Okay, you could take a fib of this. Okay, if you would like, and if you look at this top price action, Wix, this looks better for the first long opportunity because this is likely to have some rejection first time, and that's enough to get you break even, and then possibly stopped out without losing money for a better entry. Now, if you're a bear, you're really interested in the current levels, and you should be paying attention to the chart. I like 62.95 at this point, but all the way up to 63.10 is good. And if we go out here, we see the red zone is about over. So any break of this red zone, retest, and then we're going ahead and try along. All right. Taking a look at the Aussie dollar. Now this looks a little bit like it's sort of stuck. Sure, many pips to be made, But based on that, I mean, just looking at this chart, where do you think it's going next? Logic says up. Okay, so right now in Asia, or close to Asia, you could be taking along on this. And we've had some issues with this Aussie and the unwind, but risk and the reward. Let me get that right. I think you're talking about a target around 105.40. Okay, so if you look at the current price, you see that's worth it. That's 1 to about 2.75 on risk to reward. And if you're able to get to that trend line, what do we want to do there? Short, right? And just on that, that's 2 trades. That's all you need to make in one day. You'll be a millionaire, no problem. Just be consistent. Don't over leverage. Okay, don't get too much nesting inside your daily setups. And that's what causes overtrading. That's what causes emotional distress and basically losing control of yourself. Even to the point where it's so subtle subconsciously that you really don't, you think you might be taking a good trade, and it's not. But often, you're taking a bad trade, and you want to fight that market. And if you take a 30-minute break and walk back to the charts, your whole perspective is different. So that's why I like to focus and talk about some of these technologies that I'm bringing out here into the market with Forex, but also to help other people too. So I look to be really gearing that, and if that's something you want to participate in, at this point it'll be part of the subscription, and I'll be doing personalized videos for specific people with private chats and so forth. For an additional fee, but not much. And these sorts of things that will embed subconsciously the changes that you need to make. Because, as that subconscious mind turns like a record, okay, how do you change that record, right? Well, you can't just take the record off and put a new one in. You have to actually insert into the record. So the analogy is not the greatest, but what you want to do is basically imagine a suggestion box. And you take little suggestions and put them in there. And those suggestions are color coded based on the technology you use to access the subconscious mind. So we're going to be using the right colors, the right path, and I think this is the ultimate key. This is the problem that 95% of the people that trade Forex have, is a subconscious issue. You can go months and months, and that subconscious eventually, based on the way most people are raised, especially in the Western world, calls impatience, it calls for over leveraging, it calls for revenge trading, and it calls for basically instant gratification. And that's just not the thing. You can have a horse race or a marathon, but the marathon it's not that long, okay? Every day seeing profits come in. Consistency. Every day. It feels great. Take it slow. Everything will be okay. Alright, that's the plan on the Aussie. The Euro Yen, look at this. Just looking phenomenal. Same plan here. Trying to short the top of this, but, higher low opportunity. Same place there, 113.48 before the 38.2. Optimal. If we're able to get down, though, to the 61.8, I will absolutely long this pair. Unless there is a change fundamentally. Absolutely. So you can set your alarm right there, and I think you'll have a great entry. Now, on the short side of this, I don't think you should ask for more than 50 pips if we're able to get to the top of this. And any kind of, once you get to your level here, and I need to move this green level up at this point, but right there, okay, and it's going to likely try to bounce before that. Just take the pips, okay? Just take them. So you can set an order entry, you take profit, or set an alarm, but it may evaporate very quickly. So just be aware of that. Trailing stop. There's other systems also. MyFX manages, based on pip and so forth, it'll move the stop to an appropriate level that you choose. I think you need to be careful on a short, and I won't likely take the short. I'll be looking for the long, so I'm going to go with the trend. Feeling a lot more conservative these days. And doing this analysis is really helping to hone that. I'll scalp sometimes with you guys, but just don't see the point too much. Okay, oil here. 92 has been the target. Really trying to break out of this little red zone. Okay, but I think that's quite viable. It looks like a good Monday thing. And as far as entry goes, I can't take anything like this. This was even before the market opened, right? And look at this. What are you going to do? You can't long, right? So I want to retest of 90.50, okay? And at that point, when I see some green, I'll take the trade, a tight stop. If I get stopped out, calm down, okay? Don't worry about it, because you're going to get to another level, which is going to be a higher low of this area, okay? Now, I do think it will bounce at the level I just talked about, but if you're able to get down further, you likely will get 100 pips within an hour. So take a look at that. Just make sure when you enter, using some price action, and don't leave you a big stop. And obviously, oil moves a lot more than currencies. You can live off trading oil, no doubt. One trade a day, absolutely. But that is the plan. I think that will work out to 92. I can't really short it here, but it'll be interesting to see what happens in Asia and where we're at when London comes into the market. So, all right, let's take a look at gold. Okay, we did not get the higher low yet. Okay, so it just took off. If you guys recall, on Friday I spoke of, prices might just take off to this level, and then we get a short. Well, here we are, right? Okay, there's a little bit of a area between here of 100 pips or so, but I think price action short will be successful here. I think you can pull 60, 70 pips off it, no problem. Set your alarms. Right now, 1676, and you've got 1687. So I think between those two zones, you will get a short on gold if you're into that. So I'm looking for a price action reversal on a higher low to go with the overall trend of the market. So taking a look at this euro pound real quick, we see that it is at support. Really, the euro pound drove the pound before late in New York when the dollar index really kicked in, didn't it? So here we are at a 61.8 fib. Okay, I think before that, once price gets back to this level, it's going to stall. Okay, we might get some action like that. I do think we will retest these highs, though. So depending on what the dollar index is doing at that time, you may want to look at the euro for a better long if the dollar index is doing the pullback first. Okay, so basically what we've talked about here is taking a trade both directions on all pairs except this one. We're not going to talk about that. Okay, just correlate with your euro yen, and and I've described that likely I'll only trade in one direction. So, but I can surely talk about it, and I take one or two here and there, no problem, right? It's easy to take more trades, right, when you're on those 15-minute charts, and there's micro red and green zones that happen within the day, but keeping that daily chart up, I think, is key, really key. So, but yeah, gold, I think, short opportunity. We'll have to watch this oil here, and basically, we're just looking for this to roll back over. This euro yen is a short or it's a long. I'm waiting on the long. Price action reversal. If I'm around, I may take it, move it to break even. No reason to keep it above the highs. I think that people have different versions of stops. Okay, if you're in a market that is trending momentum, okay, a momentum market, time of day, 10:30 New York, okay, 8, 9, 10 London. When you get momentum, you can see momentum on the chart. It's price action, right? You can have a lot tighter stop on those types of entries. So, I don't on the daily chart stuff, which we will start actually. We'll start describing entries right off the daily chart with none of this, further analysis for the the more optimal entry. But once we get to that point, I mean, you'll see that either way, this stuff typically works out. So time management wise, if you take an entry on a daily chart, but you want to get a better reload or something on a 4 hour or a 1 hour chart or a 15 minute with time of day, that's really, I think, a time management issue at the trader's level. So what I'm looking to do here is be able to create an environment with what I'm showing you guys that you can trade, take some trades, and take off for the day. Do what you like. And if you want to trade more, you can. If you want to scalp, you can. But that is the goal, and it's been working out great here. It's been a month. We've been open here a month, and I'm glad you guys have joined. And I think we're going to do great. I showed you guys I had a different chart set up previously, and it's quite a different perspective. But I'll tell you what, it's working great for me. So I think that pretty much covers it. On Sunday, I think we will get some entries earlier than usual. Like right now, I think things are at certain levels where they may turn, and I do think that euro pound is going to come up. So, if you're looking at a euro long for the Asian session, you're really getting your signal right here. So, otherwise, you want to wait till these highs to break and then retest long. And the euro yen is your hot spot for the long, but you have to get it to come back to your price level, right? So, all right. And the last thing on the website, we're going to be doing that maintenance next weekend. We had to push some things back, so all that should be implemented by then. Until then, this will be on YouTube. Until then, all right. That is your outlook for the second day of January, 2013.